Hello, hello, hello. This is Will from Say How You Feel, where we always keep it real. And I want to talk to you today. Well, simply put, this video today is about finding your target audience. It's about finding your target audience. And right after this message, or right after this intro, we'll be back. All right. So this is the first part of 10 parts of a two-part series. 10 things about finding your target audience. I ain't gonna hold you long. We're gonna go ahead and talk about this thing because that's the biggest thing we have to do as business owners. It's who you making this product for, who you designing this product for, who's the niche, who's the end user of said product, whose problem are you solving? And I've said it before on my channel. I have um, my business serves a couple of different audiences. Depends on what we're doing. Um, Matter of fact, hold on, let me just check this off. I don't actually have to hear myself to do this particular type of video. I only need the headphones on when I'm doing a podcast where I have guests. So, well, with my equipment, I really don't need it then either. But so I want to give 10 actionable strategies to finding your target audience. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna do it in two different videos. I'm gonna do it in two different videos. I'm telling you now. You're gonna get 5 in this one and 5 in another one. So the first 5 today we're gonna talk about is first we're gonna talk about analyzing competitors. We're gonna talk about study hashtags, trends, surveying your current audience, leveraging analytic tools, and create an audience persona. So the first thing we're gonna look at is analyzing your competitors' content. Um, I'm really big on that. I talk to my wife about that a lot. When we were working on our website, I always said, "Hey, look what other people are doing. That's in the same genre that we are. That's doing kind of the same thing we're doing." Um, I will be honest. One of the things that we're doing, I see offline more than I see online. Uh, don't know why that is, but that's just what it is, and that's okay because for us, that's perfect because a lot of people don't get it everywhere. And I only really see it take two from places like touristy towns. So I have seen it in where I live at. I have seen it where I'm from, and I've seen it on video in Florida. So look at your competitors. Look at what they're creating. Look at the content they're creating. Look at who they're talking to. Um, I've seen one content creator, which is where I'm leaning towards going in that direction. She just strictly deals with um, businesses. That's her main focus. That's who her audience is. So I analyze her. I look at what she's doing. I look how she's moving. I look at what she's promoting. I look at where she's spending her ad money at. I look at where she's targeting her audience at, who she's talking to. Um, look at the popular creators or brands selling T-shirts or promo products. If that's what you want to do for businesses, if you want to do family reunions, you do the kind of the same thing. You look at a custom ink. You look at what they're doing and how they're marketing to people to say, "Hey, why do you want to go spend your money with them online when I'm sitting right here?" And here's the thing: a lot of people don't realize this for places like Custom Ink, right? Custom Ink is great. I'm not knocking them, but let me just tell you, Custom Ink doesn't print anything. Custom Ink goes to smaller companies, and they have them print them at a discounted price. Now, is that good, bad, and different? Just depends on who you're talking to. Because the end user definitely probably wants to get the best price, but at the same time, what they don't realize is you're still paying the shipping, you're still paying this, you're still paying that. When you can go directly to that person who is probably in your city or in your state or close to you, close enough to drive, and you'll probably get it from the same price anyway by just going somewhere local to go pick it up. Don't get me wrong. If you want to spend the extra money or you feel like going to Custom Ink is going to make it any different, then by all means do what you do. But it's not a thing that you have to do. So the first thing you want to do is look at the popular creators and the brand selling t-shirts and promo products to figure out what they're doing. Figure out what you want to sell and figure out who you're going to target those products to. Note which videos get the most views, likes, and shares. Who's getting what content creators and their content is getting the most likes and shares. And then you kind of can say, okay, well, let me see if I can create content not exactly like this, but close to it or in that same range so that I can have that same effect. I'm waiting for the updates on my website so that I can do a commercial so that I can insert it in the midst of my videos, like when I do these contents. Because you do videos like this and you have a YouTube channel to bring awareness not only to your knowledge and your skill set, but you also do it so that you bring a knowledge and awareness to your business. Let's just be honest about it. You know, even if you're not selling to that artist that's watching you, you want to be able to teach people what you know and also show people another way of doing things. You know, observe the demographic and engaging that is engaging with that content, the age, the interest, and region. Look at their content and see what people, are they getting a lot of local, you know what I'm saying? People watching their content? Are they getting a lot of uh, what's the word I'm looking? Are they getting a lot of out of country, out of state? I think we looked at ours and we get a lot of Tennessee. We get a lot of California. We get a little bit of everywhere. I'm not gonna say we don't. We get a lot of US though, and that's primarily because that's what our target is the US. I don't really target outside of the country because I really am not a advocate for shipping out of the country for me in my business model because shipping is just too much of a headache to try to figure out. So I don't want to do it. The next thing you want to look at is study hashtags and trends. I it's another creator. Uh, I forgot his name. Well, guy, young cat, and he sells mostly on Etsy. And like he teaches a course on studying Etsy's trends, studying the designs, figuring out who's doing what and got this, that, and the third. And Stan from Teacher's Side Hustle had also recommended a book called Still Like a Artist. And here's the thing: the reason I bring both of them up is to when you talk about tracking hashtag likes, custom tees, promotional products, merch drops, things like that. You also want to track like what kind of designs are popular, what kind of looks are really pushing, what kind of everything, what kind of blends are making sense in the area and the time and the year that you're in. Like right now we're in 2026 and it's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Uh multi-graphic type things or multi-graphic type looks that are going on within the space of t-shirts. Um, if I knew how to put a picture on here, I would show you some of the things that I'm talking about. I just don't know really how to add a photo, but let me see. And if I can figure it out, okay. So when I say multi looks, let me see if this will work. I don't know if this will work because I think this is the background. Whereas what I kind of want is, um, yes, it's probably not gonna work either. I wish I knew how to do it. I wish I knew how to get you guys a picture on here, but I really don't know how to do that yet. But I'm gonna figure it out. I'm definitely gonna figure it out. I can champ. No, that's not gonna work. Yeah, see, I tried it, didn't work. But hold on, let me see something. But see, I don't want to do that because it might take me out of the so I'm not gonna do that. So I'll have to try to figure out how to do that later. Um, but one thing you want to do is there are a lot of multicolor designs going around now. A lot of textile of art going around and like people liking on their shirts and bags and things like that. And that's another thing. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. You do not have to do if you're printing your own t-shirts or your own products or you are outsourcing either way, think outside of the box. You do not have to be stuck just with t-shirts. Don't stifle your creativity by focusing on one aspect of what you're doing. Okay? So that's number one. That's number two. That's number two. Then the other thing you should do as far as studying your hashtags and trends, identify trending sounds, challenges, and memes in your niche. So you'll see people go on TikTok, see what other t-shirt creators are doing. I know for a while that people were doing what is that? The whole you ball up a polyester shirt, take your sublimation print, print it on there, then ball it up again, you print it on again, you ball it up again, you print it on again, and then we came out, it kind of looked like tiger stripes or distressed kind of prints all over the sublimation shirt. Then you put your design right in the middle, kind of gave it a different effect and a different look. Find the trends and the niches in your art and the thing that you're trying to do. Use these trends to position your product in a relatable context. Use them to create that look that they're going for, that creativity that they're going for. The next thing you want to do is surveying current audiences. Use polls and Q&As and features in the Instagram or TikTok to ask questions what products they like. And that's one thing you can do periodically. You know, I, you have to, a lot of times we tend to follow people that do what we do, like t-shirt makers and all that. But you kind of got to get out of just doing that and start getting some following people that don't make t-shirts, people that like t-shirts. Do a poll. If you like t-shirts, hit this button, and then tell them, if you like the page, and go ahead and like the page or something, do a landing page. And I'm thinking of this as I'm having this conversation with you, to do a poll saying who likes t-shirts, send them to your page, like your page, and even give them a discount, 15%, 20% off. Because what you're doing is you're building your audience. Then you do another poll saying, hey, what type of t-shirts do you guys like? Do you like graphic tees, one word tees? What do you like? Do you like full color tees? Do you like funny tees? Some sarcastic tees? Do you like it's a whole lot of different things. I'm looking for uh, something to show you. That's it. Oh, okay. Let's do this. So you can say, hey, this is a design that we have for a t-shirt my wife created. Uh, let me see for the okay, mom vibes. So this is a design that we made, that we created. We have this ours that we own that we kind of hard to steal. Uh, but I'm messing with you guys. Uh, but that's a shirt for and that you can use to say, hey, who would like this shirt? You got four friends who are moms, and boom, they all kind of represent each one of these ladies. Boom, 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 boom. Put the shirt on. There you go. That's a little group that they can do. You see what I'm saying? You take the poll and figure out what people like. Collect info about the ages, the styles, the budgets, and favorite designs. Things like how much would you spend on a stock T-shirt? I have a section on my website that I'm building out right now that it deals with stock T-shirts. Hey, look, you want a deal? Cool, I'm gonna give you a deal. You have to buy a certain amount of shirts. I'm gonna get you that deal. Okay? You create budgets, you create sales, you create not even sales. You kind of create things that people want. People want to feel like they're getting something out of something. You know what I mean? They want to feel like they're getting something, and you got to be willing to give them something. Matter of fact, I want to try something, you guys. Hold on one second. I want to try something. Yeah, 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 yeah. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna have to change that on the second part of this. I might, yeah, because I'm changing everything this year, y'all. We're revamping. We're redoing a lot of things. So just be on the lookout. We are doing some things like that. You tailor the content to fit the answers to the to increase the engagement. Whatever you are doing, make sure you're reaching out to your audience. Speak to your people, and that'll engage. That'll grow your business. That'll help you with building your target audience. You dig what I'm saying? The next thing is leverage analytic tools. Use TikTok analytics, use Instagram insights, use YouTube analytics to track who's watching your content. To look at the age ranges, the geographic locations. Like if you have a lot of people, right, in one area that's really concentrated on your stuff, you find out the watch times, the engagement group, and you start building that audience. What you do is you create content. So say you're gonna do an event, right? You can do video content on TikTok, Instagram, and all that, all up into the event, saying, "Hey, I'm going to be in this area. If y'all really rock with me, come support me. Come check out my content." You see what I'm saying? This may mess around be a full video. You know what I'm saying? And then you have them come to your show. You have them come to wherever your event gonna be. Focus the content on segments with high engagements. You see what I'm saying? If things got a high engagement, it's moving, it's really doing some things to change your outlook and change how people see you and perceive you, then that's what you want to focus on. Here's the thing: we want to spread ourselves too thin. We want to be on all of the platforms and all of the things. Figure out which platform is working for you, and then you drive that home. I'm not saying negate the other platforms, but take a few moments. Hey, build that audience there. Because when you build that audience there, eventually that's going to give you the capital needed to step away from some other things, and focus on other platforms. You see what I'm saying? It takes time. So leverage that analytics tool. Start looking at the back office. Don't just post and be like, okay. But because if it's not getting engagement, then don't post content like that. Whatever content is posted in, like this is things that I work on consistently. Whatever thing, like I just dropped a video, and I dropped two videos back to back. I dropped one Monday, one another Monday. One Monday was similar to this. I'm never gonna stop doing this. I just might have to figure out how I'm gonna do this, because this I think is helpful to a lot of people. I think this is just taking time to build that audience, right? But my next video is also gonna be me doing kind of like this, but more so I'm gonna be doing a product. You see what I'm saying? I did a hat t-shirt business, and that video started to pick up a little traction. So it lets me know that people want to learn how to do hats. So I may go do another hat video. I did DTF with that one, and I may go do something like with vinyl, create a hat with me with vinyl or something. I don't know. But you see what I'm saying? Find that target audience. The last thing I want to talk about today is create audience persona. Develop 2 to 3 fictional profiles. College student Chloe or startup owner Steve, right? Include lifestyle, spending habits, platforms, the human style, the whole 9 yards. And make content specifically for those personas. Okay, so by doing that, what you're doing is you are trying to see what your audience likes. What I mean by that is the persona helps you to let's give me a second. I'm gonna help you out. We're gonna take this to a little further. We're gonna take this a little further. There ain't gonna just be a business class. We're gonna learn some things today. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Sir, and persona are fictional research-based profiles representing different types of users, customer users for the product or service. So basically, by doing this, what you're doing is trying to figure out who your end person is. You're trying to you're trying to build that brand for the end user. And by creating that persona, that is what you're doing. You're saying, hey, let me see what this person yada yada yada. Let me build this out. So this is the person that I'm targeting based off the information that I have, based off of what I am creating. And that is what your brand is. That is who you're trying, that is who you're building out for. So we're doing these are the first 5 things of building your finding your target audience in 2026. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you like, and be on stay tuned for the second half, part two of this video. Thank you and have a great day.